All right, what is up, everybody? We're here for Curse of Strahd, session 26. Last time we left off with the group entering the mansion slash castle, this massive edifice, searching for a clue to Dragar's mysterious vision. He has a dragon skull that seems to be reaching out to him and telling him to come here. He spoke with a flame spirit of sorts that told him that his knights, this flame spirit's dragon knights, have been corrupted and they need to be shown the light. The group proceeded through the mansion to try and discover a means to do this, but instead stumbled upon some ghost and dragon knight revenants. Kind of confused, the spirits attacked the group, showing them visions of their terrible past, what happened to them. This battle against Strahd in which they lost, and their master, a dragon, was slain, driven to corruption from the brutal defeat. They were reborn as vengeful spirits and lay in this castle permanently, just trying to seek revenge against Strahd in some way. The group hasn't really figured out everything going on, but as they were fighting these revenants, they did what damage they could, and it was quite a heap full of damage. Yet these indomitable paladins and this knight, this big plate mail armor, they could not beat them down the best that they tried, so they decided to run, or at least retreat. And that is where we start, is the group, sweaty, still mucky from the marsh, blood in most people's mouths. The frantic kind of retreat up this narrow staircase. The group comes rushing out to see Gypsy standing there waiting. I believe that the plan was to basically cut them off and narrow their numbers down so that they couldn't just all beat up at you at the same time. So that is where I'll leave it. Since we're still technically in initiative, the one revenant comes upstairs, and it was Dirge that was basically standing guard with Gypsy?
Yeah.
All right. Then the one comes up. It meets you at the kind of top of the stair. You and your skeletal steed blockade the rest of the group. Probably injured yourself. You stare down this knight with just no eyes, a black kind of emptiness for sockets, and the knight, again with its long sword, does its two attacks. The first one is actually on Gypsy this time, and Gypsy's AC is probably above an 11, I'm going to assume, so that misses. Unless you know something I don't. And then
its armor class is pretty low.
Let me check real quick. What is it, a warhorse?
Yeah, I think the base armor class is 11.
I will see. AC is 11, so yeah, it does hit, actually.
So Dirge will try to block that attack.
All right, so at disadvantage then?
Yeah, not that I think it matters.
All right, 16 is the next roll.
All right.
So it will do its damage to Gypsy. Finally, after 26 sessions, could it be the terrible end? It pulls up its sword, and as the horse stands in front of you, oh my god, I rolled 5 damage.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, it definitely has more than 5 hit points, I can tell you that.
Or sorry, not 5, 7 damage. I missed up, but still, I rolled a 1 and a 2 for damage. The second attack, though, it's going to hit on you, and that is absolutely a miss. So that puts Dragar back up, since we're going to technically stay in initiative until you get away from these guys.
All right, Dragar's continuing to look for pathways and stairways up.
All right, so if you look on the map, Dan, I don't know if you're there.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, you basically already know what you already see. So the door right in front of you that opens back out into the main lobby, the balcony above the main lobby, you see another staircase exactly across from you in this room, but that one goes back down into the cathedral. So basically your only option would be to go back out into the main lobby, and then you would probably remember seeing in the corner of the balcony some staircases going up. where I just pinged.
Yeah. Yeah, Drager would look to the group and Drager thinks what I need is on the roof, but I'm not sure. And I guess he would go that way.
Okay, so you can take your movement.
Okay.
You can dash even, so you can get roughly, what's your movement? 30, 40?
35.
35, so there, and then 35. You already did it. You could actually go 1 square farther. And you do see the staircase as you run out onto this balcony back into this main foyer where all these alabaster busts are kind of broken and shattered, some of them. You see a staircase about 40 feet away from you, directly straight ahead. You just kind of rush. You tell the group that fighting is not maybe it's the best option. Below, you hear the other hulking armor of this revenant, this dark paladin, and you hear the sound of its sword being picked up, and then all of a sudden, it's smash. The ground, the balcony you stand on, kind of shakes, and you hear this breaking of stone and wood splinters. You don't see what the creature's doing, but you definitely feel it. It does 2 attacks, and you completely hear something shatter and break away, and the balcony kind of creak. Gaia, you're now up.
That's saving throw.
Oh yeah, you're dead.
Woo! Number 2.
I forgot all about that. You could have totally cheesed me and I wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah, I got full out. You haven't hit me at all last session.
Yeah, I would have forgot. Good job.
All my spell slots. I'm good to go. Let's do this, guys.
So, the next paladin being up, you guess pretty much wouldn't really see where it's going, but maybe you will later on. But Rion, you're now up.
Okay. I'm going to move as far as I can while carrying Gaia.
Okay.
That's going to be...
I'll move Gaia, don't worry. Or I guess you can't really worry about Gaia, but...
Drager forgot about that. I was supposed to grab her.
So... That's just my movement, but because I'm carrying her, do we want to say that I can't dash?
I will give you a con check. Or no, a strength kind of makes more sense. Just give me a raw strength to see if you can... Like, you probably can. It's not going to be very hard. Unless you, roll below a 10, then you'll be able to dash. So go ahead and give me an athletics. So, yeah, you're able to... Yeah. You have her, you're fireman carrying her at this point.
Well, wait a minute. If it was athletics, then that would have been higher. But if it's just strength, then that's the number.
Yeah, you're still giving it regardless. Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. What's up, Dragar?
Just hey, Dragar. Dirge, your group doesn't seem to think that fighting and cornering these guys is a good idea. You see the knight in front of you. Your passive perception is pretty high, right?
Decent, not super high,
over 15, over 14,
something like that. Yeah.
You would see and hear the knight behind you coming up the opposing staircase, so you know that within the couple seconds that they're going to both close in on you if you stay here and fight.
All right, Dirge is gonna take a dodge action.
Okay.
And run away from the knight that's in front of her.
Okay, so 2 attacks, disadvantage.
1 attack at disadvantage.
That's what I meant. Sorry, I meant 2 rolls. 1 as my hit, so definitely doesn't happen.
Okay, so that misses, and then Dirge hops on Gypsy.
Okay.
And just charges through here.
Okay.
I don't know how far that horse can run. Pretty fast.
Yeah, it's at least 40, probably 60. I don't really remember.
Pretty far.
All right. This guy is going to...
I'm trying to remember. It'd be so much easier if you could get this stupid mount on the bottom layer.
Yeah, I can put it down 1 layer. Back.
I think it generally, there we go. Yes. So much better.
So these guys aren't actually smart enough or fast enough to really keep up to you. So you hear them hulking behind you, but that will basically end initiative unless your guys' plan is to like stay around and taunt them. So Jagar, I'm assuming that you go up the stairs, right?
I would continue. I would not taunt. I would just continue looking for up, trying to get to the roof, believing that that's where the dragon is.
So yeah, if you go straight, basically westward, that's a staircase that you can run up, and then I'm gonna assume everyone's following. This is their last chance to say otherwise.
Dirge is gonna follow, but she's gonna heal her friend who's unconscious.
Yeah, I'm like, guy doesn't really have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll see Dirge kind of lean over and place a hand on Gaia's unconscious form. You'll see this golden glow of magic as she casts Cure Wounds on her friend, attempting to. Actually, I don't think I have any. We don't have any of our abilities, right?
I do not know.
I think I have. I think I might have 1 point of healing on my own hands here.
Yeah, I'm all maxed out on my character sheet.
Yeah, I guess Dirge will just stabilize her. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, if you have proficiency in medicine, you can give a check and stabilize her.
Yeah, for sure. She's actually trained in medicine, so. Or I could roll too. Dirge is super nervous as she's trying to bandage her unconscious friend.
Does that count as a fail?
No, it doesn't count as a fail. I sometimes homebrew that if you do it without proficiency that it will. But since she has proficiency, I'm going to assume that she's smart enough to not make it worse. She might not be able to stop it.
I just have to tighten the bandages around her neck.
However, though, since it doesn't stabilize you, unless you technically, you'd have to make another save unless somebody else wants to try to stabilize her real quick.
She makes a third death saving throw.
All right, so you're unconscious then until somebody does something.
And Drager will then take Gaia in his arms and continue carrying her from the group.
So you are unconscious for 1 hour until either a rest or someone stabilize or brings you back to consciousness.
Cool.
Next, I guess, I don't know if everyone sees where you guys end up, but I'll pull your tokens there in a second. I'm just actually going to drag them onto the map this way.
That awkward moment when you realize, oh yeah, we don't have any resources.
Yeah, it's been a while since you guys had a nice cozy little rest.
Guy's getting a pretty good one right now.
Oh, a whole bunch of guys just came out.
Oh, wow.
All right, so yeah, that's where you guys end up is another kind of dark hallway. Let me just actually read it completely to you, what you guys see. The hallway itself is a little bit more destroyed, a collapsed ceiling. The roof over this part of the mansion has mostly collapsed as you kind of are in these long hallways. You would look and see carrying forward that it branches out into basically like a kind of cross section, and the roof has all but collapsed. And as you look up, you see that the mansion continues upwards even further. You see like the second floor basically, and the air or the sky outside. So there's presumably one more level until the roof, and you basically are in this kind of collapsed hallway.
Do we see any way through?
You see a bunch of doors. The tokens are kind of blocking some, but let me move you guys around. This isn't obviously where you guys have to be, but there is a door right in front of Rion to the north, and then another door. Let me ping. So door here, right there, and then another door, basically completely adjacent from where you guys came up.
And there's no clear, not clear, but there's no path visible through the rubble to straight outside?
You do not see any. Basically, you're on the third floor, and outside is the fourth floor. You do not see like a direct staircase in this area, but you have a couple doors as options.
Where's the rubble coming from? Is it coming from the ceiling?
The ceiling has collapsed.
So can we just climb up there onto the fourth floor using Gregor as a step stool?
Within reason. It's about, let me see how actually high the ceiling is. I think the ceilings are pretty 20 feet high.
Also, did the horse come up the stairs, or is it running around distracting the Metal Knights?
gonna up to Dirge, I guess. I know I said that you couldn't go up the last spiral staircase, but I guess if you really put your mind to it, you could probably make the horse.
Dude, that horse has 6 intelligence. It's super smart. It just takes a long time.
Yeah. So, whatever. I'm fine with it if you want the horse to be up here.
Sure. Yeah, Dirge would kind of look up. Well, we could always play build a tower, Dragar.
Mm-hmm.
I could stand on Gypsy and you. Oh, that would be very dangerous. Maybe not.
Drager would almost getting a little bit more frantic now. Not extremely frantic, but just start visibly looking like he's losing patience. Drager would go to the first door beside Rion and open it.
All right. What you see in there, my good friend Dragar, is through the dust and cobwebs. You see faded war banners adorning the walls of this spacious chamber, in the center of which stands a heavy wooden table. An iron chandelier hangs above the table, much like it does in all the other bigger rooms, and is surrounded, this table, by 6 high-backed chairs with wood-carved dragon perches, or dragons perched on top of them. Slumped in the chair is 5 skeletons in tattered armor, and one man, it looks like, with shrunken gray skin that looks up and stares at you as you walk in. His eyes kind of glow red.
That's fantastic.
What he says to you as he tilts his head in your direction is, "Why have you disturbed the dead?"
Atlas? That sounds like Atlas in there.
He also looks pretty old, and basically he almost has kind of like a Voldemort nose. Like his nose is all but gone. He has this long, wavy, white hair, and his eyes are like black and shrunken, and the pupils themselves are kind of red. He has this fancy kind of chainmail, and you see purple robes underneath the chainmail.
Dragar would look up and touch the dragon skull, and Dragar says, "We are here to return the skull and to remind the soldiers that Strahd still suffers."
He looks to you and motions you to come in.
Dragar be like, Dragar asks if you know what the roof is.
He motions you again to come in.
I don't want to come in.
We could always go with horse pyramid strategy, just putting that out there.
Dragar looks up to the 20-foot tall ceiling roof, and Dragar walks into the room.
Says, "What is your name?"
Dragar searches the room with his eyes.
I'm gonna walk in behind Dragar, and I'm gonna say, "Be careful, Dragar. Just be mindful on what you say and promise." And with that, I'm gonna give him bardic inspiration, just in case
Sweet.
he may need it on a save
Okay.
or check. Skill
Can I-
check.
Can I do a quick perception of the room, Chris?
Yeah, you can do it for Chris perception. And as he looks at the skull, he kind of looks at it and he recognizes it, and he says, "That is Argynvost. Where did you find that?"
Dragar found this in the basement of Strahd's castle. When I touched it, it told me to bring it back here, so I am.
"That you wear on your head is the skull of my master. He was defeated by Strahd. All of us have came back from the grave, burning with vengeance. Vengeance that will see Strahd's torment for all of eternity."
And Strahd still suffers. He is alive as a undead, feeling nothing and always being alone. Dragar's just like, yeah, that sounds good.
He would ask that you said Argenvolst. He spoke to you in a vision.
And Dragar says yes. He showed me this mansion and he flew around. I just couldn't remember where he ended up, so I don't know where the boat is called.
He would tell you that Vladimir, he will not like that.
Dragar asked who Vladimir is.
Vladimir is the commander, the one who was second in command to Argenvolst. He leads these revenants. We watch over Barovia to make sure that Strahd always suffers. If you plant that skull, and then he actually tells you, let me get to where I need to tell you, that it goes in the dragon's mausoleum, that all the souls here will be put to rest. But Vladimir very much doesn't want to be put to rest. I, however, am tired. So it's of little consequence to me.
Dragar asks, where is this mausoleum?
It's outside in the courtyard.
Courtyard, backyard, front yard, side yard? Man.
There is a staircase just beside the chapel, a couple levels below. And then if you go upstairs, you'll see a kind of a view of it towards the northeast. But basically, he tells you that putting 2 to 2 together, the place where you just fought the Revenants is where the staircase to go to the mausoleum is.
Awesome. Okay, Dragar says, well, hopefully soon you will rest, my friend. Check you later.
He says, watch out for Vladimir. He's strong, and he burns with fury for what Strahd did to us. He wasn't always like this. He was a good man.
Any tips?
Just stay clear. He would point and say that he's actually in the room next door. And if you look on your map, he would point to this area right there and say he sits on the throne that Argenvolst once claimed as his own. If he catches wind that you wish to put our spirits to rest, he'll do everything in his power to stop you. I know him. He's a stubborn man. He's the stubbornest son of a bitch I've ever met.
Dragar would just nod and say thank you, and try to back out of the room with Rion, and hopefully we can. At this point, I'd probably continue back downstairs.
Okay. Back downstairs. Drag out everyone.
Explained to Dirge and Gaia. But,
everyone heard the conversation, so.
All right, perfect.
You guys head back downstairs. I will. I guess I should bring you guys tokens there. And what is your plan from that point?
Dragar would look to Dirge and Gaia and Rion, and Dragar just says, "We need the idea. We need the distraction to distract the revenants so that somebody can get downstairs with the skull. Who knows what's down there? They're waiting for us. What do you guys think?"
Well, I feel like we have to do something about Gaia. Out of character, none of us have healing potions.
Do I having any?
I don't think we do.
No.
I don't know if you guys have any potions.
If you guys went through things, you'd be like, well, there is a scroll of spiritual weapons, scroll of protection from poison, scroll of blast, vestments, rations, torches, tinderbox, basket, bedroll. Yeah. Well, okay, maybe not the bedroll, but there's.
Wait a minute. Didn't we pick up an item that can heal? I could have swore, wasn't it the amulet of Ravenkind or something like that had some sort of healing properties?
That definitely does not.
Okay. I could have swore we picked up some sort of item that can heal.
I know you guys picked up something, but I don't know who. Something that heals, but I don't know if you guys already used it or if someone just didn't write it down. But the abbot definitely gave somebody something. in the form of a potion. I just can't remember if you guys used it in a fight already.
Well, if it was Dragar, he didn't write it down.
Well, I know I
don't remember
didn't get
a
anything.
potion being given. The only person I could think of that would get the potion would be Gaia, because those two had a special, Paylor moment.
Yeah, and
So-
that's what I'm kept racking my head for. I'm like, this sounds familiar, but the only thing that I'm latching onto is the amulet thing that she gave to him to unlock, basically.
Yeah, because my memory, if it serves me, is that he said he would fix the amulet for you if you guys brought back the Seed of Life.
Yep.
And then you guys asked if he has anything that could help, and he said he wouldn't fight, but he gave you a potion of healing, a superior healing, I believe.
Well,
That's
I'm
true.
pretty sure nobody used it.
Yeah,
No,
so
he didn't use it. I do remember that.
sure,
Dragar will search Gaia's body to see if he can find the superior potion of healing.
we'll leave it to the roll of the dice. Maybe Gaia lost it. Give me a investigation check.
Me or her?
You, because
She's here right now. Okay, guys, let's do this.
15.
15 is enough to actually find it. It didn't. It's buried deep in Gaia's satchel or whatever she carries around.
I'm like,
Dragar-
she was.
As Dragar's swinging Gaia around, he bumps into the purse and he hears a clank of glass. So he starts digging around into the satchel and he pulls out the superior potion of healing and holds it up.
All right. So then she could drink that and heal a pretty hefty amount of HP. I'm trying to remember what superior is.
Superior doesn't. I know the.
44,
Superior is pretty high.
84.
The drink half.
I think it's. Well,
Yeah, right.
don't we have?
Here among
Been-
yourselves.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh,
Or
it's
that
not in
potion. Yeah. I'm trying to Google it really quick because I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. Superior is 8d4.
Plus 8 or plus 4?
Oh shit, I just closed it. Plus 4, I believe, though. That's what I'm going to call it. So 8d4 plus 4. As
Who's rolling?
you are a guy, or yeah, you roll.
Okay.
Dragar's
Roll.
coin. Roll.
8d4 plus 4. Woo! That's a good thing.
Gaia feels great.
Yeah, at least for the most part. Like, ow, I still am really, really sore, but that's just to be expected with almost dying and being bashed in by some pieces. Yeah. Alright, 28. Just open your eyes, takes in a deep breath, and just, ow. Did we kill him?
No.
Okay.
So they said the stairs we have to take are back in that room.
Yeah, back on the bottom floor, he would have told you. And basically, it's not so much, it's just like a little a doorway that leads out into the courtyard.
Can you ping on the map where they were talking about that being?
Yeah. That door in precise that I just tacked, I'll just give it to you guys. It's there. But you know that the Revenants are at least either in the balcony or the bottom floor. You don't know if they stopped chasing you or what they did. You lost track of them.
What if we went downstairs? Because I believe they were chasing us. Maybe they're still upstairs. What if we went basically downstairs, like through these double doors, and try to go into the front of that place to see if they're there, and then sneak our way through that door?
Dragar says, good idea. Let's double around and try to see if we can sneak past them.
So I just, for ease of movement there, I dragged you guys all back down to the main foyer.
Yep.
And then, so your plan is to go through the double doors?
Yes, quietly.
Quietly. Is everyone going? So like a group stealth? Or is it someone...
Dirge will let the stealthy people go first, which I'm guessing is just Rion, maybe Gaia.
All right. So whoever wants to give a stealth and peek ahead can do so.
Yeah! 11!
Ninja Gaia.
Yeah, Gaia. She's like breathing heavily and just kind of staggering, just a little disoriented somewhat. And, like, she thinks she's being quiet.
So inside this room, you see a long, 20-foot long table. Kind of a similar reoccurring theme here. It has sculpted dragons for legs. In the center of this hall, there's chairs that surround the tables. There's a bunch of emblems that resemble dragons. The chairs actually look like dragon wings. Suspended from a table is another one of these chandeliers. And then there's a bunch of chairs, kind of these wooden chairs, all pushed in around the table. Anything else of importance? Oh, not really. You see some statues and a couple more doors, and then revealing, you also see a doorway which, with any kind of directional sense, you presume would open up to the chapel. So, Rion, you clearly hear as you two step into this room that Gaia is not necessarily being the most quiet, although she is trying.
Okay. Then I will instruct her to wait here by the door, since she's not being very quiet.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna.
Yeah, I got that. I could do that.
So you can go ahead and peek. I'm not going to make you reroll yourself, but give me a perception as you look in. The fog is kind of draped into the window, and gives that cathedral the kind of creepy, foggy remnants. So see what you see in there.
Okay. I'm using the table as well. Like I'm
Yeah.
on this side of the table and using that to help, hide me from them. And I got a 25.
So 25. Normally you wouldn't be able to see too much with the fog and the double doors, but somehow you just get the right glimpse, and you do see that the three revenants are back down here, and basically on the map that's where they're standing. Although they're not moving, they just kind of seem to have went back into their resting position.
Okay. I'm gonna get Gaia's attention. And actually, do I have message? No. Damn it. That would be a good cantrip to have at this moment. I'm going to get her attention and tell her that there's basically 3 of them in here, and I want her to go tell the others. Now, whether she interprets that as what I'm saying, that's up to her. It could be that I'm, telling her to go jump off a bridge as far as, Gaia is concerned. But that's what I'm trying to do. And I will basically wait here, keeping an eye on them.
So yeah, Rion makes some weird hand gestures to you and whatnot. Your take on it, whether you understand or not, but he seems to be heavily pointing towards the open door and holding up 3 fingers, or something along that lines.
Mm-hmm.
She'll point
and then
back.
I'm pointing back. Then I'll point back, to this direction, and for her to go that way. So.
And she's just kind of there, eyes squinted a little bit, just and pointing that way. Is that way?
Okay. If you point back
take a step.
Yes, and then I'll shake my head. Yes, yes, go that way.
She'll come back to you. It's Rion told me to come back this way. I think he's fun. I think he's coming. I don't. He'll tell us soon.
You guys would just hear a hand smacking the head. The forehead.
Oh no! Rion's in trouble!
So Dragar would kind of look around the corner to see if he could see Rion, to see if he would be able to understand the hand motions.
Yeah, you can give an insight if you want.
Yeah, sure, whatever it
I
takes.
think that Dragar would, but basically he's pointing at the door 3 fingers and then being
Dragar catch that, he'd look at Guy and be like, Dragar says there's 3 revenants in the room. We should probably try to figure something else out. I think that's what he's trying to tell us. And Dragar would look at Dirge, and he'd be like, Dragar is going to run in and try to get them all to chase him. Run around in circles, have some fun. And once I go upstairs, the 3 of you take the dragon skull into the back and put it somewhere.
Okay.
Do you want to ride around on Gypsy? She's pretty fast.
I might have to get them to track upstairs. I don't know if you want them to come back through the door.
Well, she's a pretty good distraction at the very least.
She would help, yes. And they would look at Rion and be like, what?
Well, I wanted to ask Chris, are the statues look like they're moving at all, or are they just frozen.
Right now they're
still
back.
at their
Right now they're
positions?
back to the like standing position.
Okay. So, but they're like spread out like they are on the map, or are they back
Yep,
over here?
Basically, exactly how I have them is where they are for sure.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will, come back to the group so that way I can discuss with them. It looks like they're not moving. Maybe we can lure them out and bring them to this door and basically I need the draw tool. Basically lure them out this way, and we go around this way. And then when we get back into this room, lock the door.
Yeah. That's what.
As Rion's drawing all this on the ground, Drago's just nodding his head and he's like, yeah.
I'm very fast.
Good plan.
But the question is, who should we get to do that? And Guy, you're kind of becoming a little bit of a robot on my screen or on my end. I don't know about anybody else.
No!
She sounds normal on my side.
Okay.
Guy
Maybe
would
it was just
offer
a
to
lag
be.
spike.
Guy would offer to basically lure them. I'm fast.
All right, and what are you doing, Gaia? Go ahead. It's going to be some skills, but you can
Let's
narrate
see.
to me.
I'll have her use perform.
Okay.
Come on, charisma. Basically, she will be loud and just trying to get their attention, stomping her feet, and was like, "Come get to me!" And like if she has to, she might throw a few things at them just to irritate them, and hopefully have them come and try and attack her. And she'll just keep out of their reach.
Yeah, so as you start making noises, clanging chairs together and throwing kind of silverware and whatnot off the table into the cathedral or the chapel, they all start to animate to life, and they do so rather slowly. Then as they start walking, they start picking up speed, so it's almost like a train. You can picture like they start off moving really slow and jagged, but as they start to
You
move
killed
more,
me once. You can't do it again, I bet.
they start barreling through, and then by the time they get to the table, they kind of like bump into the table and actually push it across the room. You hear the scraping of wood. Give me a contested acrobatics is fine by me, or
Sure.
athletics.
Hey, good job.
And then they're probably going to be hard done to catch you because you have the lead, and they definitely do not. So they just basically do what you want them to do. They train line after you. You're able to, with the superior speed, keep ahead of them. You don't trip on anything. And then,
The doors. I hope everyone's going around the other way.
yeah, I'm going to assume that that's what
Guy
everybody
is
does.
not being quiet.
Guys being extremely loud. You guys all hear. You hear the knights kind of
Oh, wait for that.
shambling along. And then, yeah, you have them.
As we run by the tables here, I'm going to grab one of these chairs so that way I can prop it up against the door to help do a barricade.
You drag it. Gaia runs back into the main foyer. She basically waits for them to come all the way out. Just like, over here, you big stupid knights. And
Big bumbling buffoons.
yeah, you are able to basically do exactly what you want. They do follow you enough to see that you went back in the cathedral or the chapel. And as you slam the door shut, is anyone going to stay and actually block them, or are you just using the wooden chair?
Go, Gypsy.
Yeah, Dirge
How-
and Gypsy would both try to barricade the door shut.
Okay.
Guy's gonna sit down and just try and breathe.
Drago will sprint for the back door, the stairs, or the side door, whatever it takes to get to the mausoleum.
Yeah.
Rhaegar is a warforged.
You turn into a robot, Dan. Try refreshing.
See, I knew somebody turned into a robot.
I'll reveal when you come
Oh,
back.
it's no secret that I'm a warforged.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm not going to bother reading until he comes back so that he can see, but I'll reveal the map. You guys see this massive kind of courtyard. He's back already, like the speed of lightning.
Drago would toss over as fast as he could to the mausoleum.
Yep, and what you do is you open up into a courtyard, which is the cemetery, tucked behind the mansion, shrouded in fog. It's a bunch of graves, and then you see kind of in the distance this large tower that spans several stories into the sky. It's dark and kind of dirty. The door, as you approach it, you're just like really, literally like running straight up and grabbing the door and opening it.
I wouldn't be running full tilt, but I'd be like jogging. Yeah.
Okay, you get to the door. Dirge, do a strength check at advantage.
Sure. Let's try to hold the line.
You hear a slam into the door.
Is that athletics?
Yeah,
Bust out the athletics.
gotta beat a 12 as I'm rolling abysmal.
Yeah, 16.
You
As
hear
the
them-
horse helps her.
Yeah, you just feel the power of these knights slamming into the door, though, and the first kind of test maybe is not full power. Dragar, however, though, you make it up in front of this mausoleum door.
I will be with Dragar as well.
Okay,
Guys, catching our breath. Her lungs hurt.
so I'm just gonna move tokens. Are you like sitting down with Dirge?
She's sitting near. If Dirt shows any or asks like help, she will leap up and go.
Gaia, could you do me a favor? Could you wait outside? I have a better idea here, okay?
Okay, and like kind of point towards Rion and Dragon, and she'll get up and kind of just a little more slowly and stiffly follow after.
Did they go out like a regular normal door?
Pardon me, sorry?
Did they go through a regular normal door to get out?
Yep.
All right. After they kind of push against her, leaving the horse there. The horse has 18 strength, so it's pretty strong.
Okay.
Dirge would immediately try to run through the door and close it behind her, so it looks like everything's normal.
Okay, sounds good. And Rion and Dragar, you stand in front of this tower's door. It seems to be made of stone and iron reinforcements. Has etchings all over it. What do you guys do?
Can Drager check the stonework to see if if the door will open or like what's the deal?
Yep, go. You have advantage on that kind of stuff, right?
Yep. 18.
18, you would assume that it's just like a kind of pull door, but the etchings on it seem rather detailed and basically are that of like a kind of spiraling dragon. But there also seems to be something that is also marked over top of the etchings. It doesn't seem like stonework. Seems like something else.
Pull out the Wand of Secrets, and I'm going to tell Dragar, remember what happened when we first tried to enter this place? That dragon tried to breathe on us. Maybe there's something here as well.
I think Drager would just nod his head.
And I will use the Wand of Secrets. It's 30-foot radius within me.
And what is it?
Just a secret door, but I'm still going to use it just because.
So in 30 feet of you, as you use a charge, there is no secret doors.
Okay. I'm not sure if there's anything else with that. If it does traps or not, I will look that up.
Drager will use his immense strength and pull open the door.
All right, as you do, Rion and Dragar, give me a dex save.
I told you. Secret. Yeah, if it's a secret door or trap within 30 feet.
Oh, trap. That changes everything then.
Oh,
You
yeah.
would have seen a glyph warding on it.
Okay.
So Drager would slowly reach for the door.
Yeah.
Hopefully Rion would
and-
be like, hey, you fuck.
Whoa!
Rion would be kind of like slap your hand like a little kid, like reaching for the candy, and then realize it's like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't mean to slap you that hard, but there's a glyph on this door. Can I maybe make an Arcana check to see if I know what kind of glyph this is, or what kind of trap?
Yep, go ahead.
Oliver, what tell you? An epic fail. Watch it. 12's not bad, but
Yeah,
probably not where I need it to be.
you get the sense that if you open the door, it's going to hurt.
Okay.
Dirge, give me a athletics contest with with Gypsy. And you see through her eyes, right? You're on mute if you're responding. Or you have like a telekinesis bond.
Telepathic bond, yeah.
All right, so you would feel Gypsy getting overpowered.
Yeah. At this point, it doesn't seem like there's any hope for Gypsy. Yeah. Although to say that the Gypsy will die or whatever isn't really a thing.
Yeah.
She'll just kind of be dispelled if her hit points go to 0.
Yeah.
So
basically,
as soon as the door is busted open, like if she feels like it's about to, she would probably try to disengage and run back just to buy us like another round if she could.
okay. And yeah, you would basically telepathically sense that the knights do charge in, but with her, obviously the superior speed, they spread out and just look to corner the horse. You sense that it's probably inevitable, but like you said, it's just it's not a living creature, so you can just summon her back. She had a good run. Back to the group. What are you guys doing? You know that there's some kind of glyph trap.
What kind of door handle is on this door, or is there a door handle?
It's just like a kind of push thing.
Oh,
you push it open. Yeah.
Well, shit.
Right.
Dragar, you have a two-handed hammer, correct?
Yeah. Dragar says yes. Dragar also has advantage on dex saving throws against things I can see, such as traps and spells. So maybe I can try to...
Let's hope it's a dexterity trap and not a con check or wisdom check.
Here's a thing. Gaia's not there, so you be quiet, go lady. Dragar, how about you stand back and try to use your two-handed weapon and like push it open that way, and so that way you're a little bit farther from the blast, and I'll be over here.
Dragar would stand about 5 to 6 feet away from the door then, and he would whip his hammer at it as hard as he could.
I didn't mean throw it.
He's throwing
But
it.
if throwing it works, then that's great.
Huck a hammer.
All right. Sorry,
Does
I was
throwing
trying to
work?
look up what actually happens. So what did you guys say? Sorry, my apologies.
Dragar stands about 5 or 6 feet away from the door
Okay.
and whips his hammer as hard as he can at it to see if he can open the door or break it.
Interesting. And sorry, how many feet did you say?
I said
20 feet away.
I said 5 or 6.
Okay. You huck.
But now I might want to make it more.
I feel like it's a little bit late for that. You huck your hammer, and as you do, blasting from this door is cold energy, basically like a bristling snowstorm with ferocity that reminds you of Mount Gacchus back at the Amber Temple. And you do have to give me a dex check. You are in range.
How
Anyone
big is the blast?
anyone within 10 feet is within
Okay.
range.
Does an epic 16 make it?
I got a 16, yeah, sorry.
16 does just make it, so you take half, unless you have
Half
some
of
kind
a
of,
lot.
unless you have some kind of crazy barbarian thing. But
No
24 cold damage.
All right.
pocket 12? Or is
Yeah.
that already cut in half?
No, that's not cut. So half of that.
All right.
Okay.
Dragar takes a quick chill, and when he turns around to look at Rion to say thanks for the heads up on the trap, you see part of Dragar's beard frozen.
Rion's gonna walk over and cast light. Like Rion knows that it's not gonna help whatsoever, but he's gonna use the light to help make it think that he's helping Dragar's beard, like basically melt the frost off his beard.
Nice. Snow cone beard. So now what do you do as you look?
Dragar would like to head in.
Okay.
Yeah. Likewise. Actually, wait, Dragar. I'm gonna look behind us to see if our rest of our party is coming. Let's wait for them.
Yeah, as they're,
Along.
I think as the horse is trying to fight the knights, Dirge would kind of tell the horse to make as much noise as possible before it dies,
Yeah,
so that Dirge can head over to the temple,
absolutely.
trying to use it basically for a distraction.
Do you want to describe? Because I obviously Gypsy doesn't stand a chance. Do you want to describe her last moments?
Yeah, Gypsy is kind of surrounded by these powerful knights, and like the brave spectral horse she is, she just runs up and just kicks one of these guys in the head as hard as she can, only to find her body splintered into a million piles of bones on the ground as she is dispelled into a puff of smoke. It's literally like one of those dry bones when Mario jumps on it, basically. She just collapses into a pile of bones.
It even makes the same kind of like xylophone sound as she falls and clatters. So yeah, you guys are then just going up to the door and opening it.
The gold. Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
so
the door's already open, right?
no.
Oh, it just the trap went off.
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, I will. Probably I'm pushing one side and Duragar's pushing the other.
All right. And what is Dirge and Gaia doing? You're following?
Catching up. Looking at what they're doing. That's all the ice come from.
Yeah, Dirge would try to follow after them. She'll try to stay closer so that if they get hit by a magic spell, she can protect them.
All right. So everyone within 10 feet, make another deck save, which I'm assuming is everybody.
But don't we get +5 because of?
Yeah. 15's
Yeah.
your target
19.
with Super Dirge now nearby.
I can do math.
That'll be a 19 for Dragar then, thanks to Dirge.
Dirge
Your magic
passes.
kilo.
So everyone who passes takes half, and then you take half again from Dirge's stuff. So
So it's 9.
9 damage as this trap goes off again. And it almost
Where's-
seems to be stronger this time.
Oh, is that
Where's Gaia's dexterity roll?
That's awesome.
She
She
up
rolled it up
16.
there. I see
Yeah.
it. I'm not used to her macro thingy. Like I'm looking for the boxes that we use.
So now as you look at Dragar and Rion, the Snowbeard has literally almost turned into like an abominable snowman. As you both are just covered head to toe in this icy cold damage, and it hurts like a son of a bitch. You feel like your fingertips starting to freeze, and if you look down, they'd almost be like frostbitten instantly.
Dragar would look to Rihanna and be like, "Did I gotta wonders why you didn't say it would go off twice?"
Because I didn't know it would go off twice. And you would hear my teeth like chattering as I say that.
the jump?
No, I don't think it's one of those that it's shoots off and it's done. Dragar, what are these writings on the wall say?
Can Dragar try to figure out not only what the writings, but whatever you said is on top of the writings as well?
Yep. So go ahead and another advantage. Now that you're actually precisely looking, this isn't necessarily stonework though, so I don't know if Dragar is the guy to get this done. It's like
Okay.
there is the stonework etchings, but then there's a glyph basically drawn over it.
Then I
Child
will
check.
work with him. Do you want history?
Whatever you determine.
Okay.
That's all make checks. I only got a 13.
Yeah. Anybody else that wants to check this door, you just say what you're doing, and well, obviously it's warded with some kind of magical trap.
Is the door
Actually,
open?
I'm gonna do more of an investigation just to see if there's like
Okay.
a secret switch, that sort of deal anywhere along it, or not necessarily touching the door, but kind of examining it to see if like maybe we had to press a certain phrase on the door.
Okay. Yep. Give it that investigation check, or yeah, you haven't done it yet. Beautiful.
26.
You do notice something. And this is going to be interesting in how to explain this. I honestly don't really know. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I think I'm going to have to draw, which I apologize. But you see in a big circle, let me reveal a bunch of the map here. We'll do it actually in the main foyer. So if you look in the main foyer, you see underneath the dragon is a large kind of circle ward, right? And then on each it's almost like a clock. There's these little figures, and it's like almost like little stick people. And let me do this. This is gonna be terrible. It's gonna take a while to draw, but you get the point. And basically, going from stick person to stick person is these lines that almost make out some kind of crazy ass star pattern. And it goes from symbol to symbol, basically, of these stick people.
Do any of the stick people look different from each
They
other,
all
or
look like
they
they're
all
doing-
look the same?
They all look like they're doing a different position.
Maybe we should have talked to the undead guy upstairs and asked him how we could get into this, because I think it's something to do with this. And I'm guessing there's something like in the center here of the star pattern that we can turn.
You do not see anything that you can turn.
If Rion turned around, he would see Dragar trying to mimic one of the poses.
Okay. And you mimic one of the poses, and you do.
Does the little picture light up right now?
Yeah. So basically, that's what you see, is what I drew. So which pose do you basically just ping? Which pose you reenact? All right, then nothing happens.
Fuck you.
So-
okay, no, sorry.
Is it the star thingy? Like, is that how it actually looks? The way you drew it?
Yeah. This is
Okay.
crudely drawn, but basically exactly how it looks.
Maybe we should either do this pose, Dragar, or this pose. Oop, come on, ping again.
You would see Dragar do
What do
this
you
pose.
think?
All right, and as you do that pose, it lights up, glows like a magical kind of energy.
And Dragar will follow, start doing the poses. No, he'll actually look to Dirge and Gaia to do the second pose.
Group effort. Group effort.
Totally. Gaia would go and try.
So yeah, as you,
Jeez.
what's that say? Which one did Gaia do? That one. Would
Oh, you're
not
doing that
light
one?
up.
Okay.
With her doing the wrong pose,
Yeah.
per se, does it? Okay, so it stays lit then.
It does look like the ward starts to like light up though, much like it did when you sprung the trap though. So it actually like started to exhume cold energy as if it maybe didn't like that.
All right, well, let's not do that
Oh.
again.
Probably your last warning.
Can someone feed the cat before it eats us all?
He has been a butt today. I fed him. I am not.
All right, well, let's do a second
Okay.
dance. Is there any logical progression in these movements that I'd be able to tell?
You can give me, I guess, an investigation also.
Okay. I guess I'll roll investigation. Dot, 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 dot. As a performer, I think I would know. Damn.
So yeah, with the combined effort of the group, you can basically, and your own investigation, put it together that the line is literally drawing a path of what picture you have to interact with. So you started
Okay.
here, and then you went to that one and it lit up. So if you were to do all of them, I'm presuming
Yeah.
you would do it in that order, they would all start to light up. And as you do the last one, a bunch of revenants in short little booty shorts and leather jackets come out and start singing the YMCA theme song. So then you guys all have a song and dance.
YMCA.
I challenge them to a dance off.
But what actually happens is the glyph kind of fades away and looks like you successfully disarmed the trap.
Dragar would laugh at that point. Ah! And he would just continue to open the door.
All right, tarnished, silver-plated gargoyles shaped like dragon wormlings cling to the stone-tiled roof of this mausoleum. An 8-foot-tall, 4-foot-wide, white marbled door set into the steles are basically as you push in. Sorry, I was reading the wrong part. The interior of the mausoleum is dark and dusty. You see 4 empty alcoves with raised floors. Etched in the far wall is a verse written in Draconic. Does anyone speak Draconic?
Let me see. For some reason, I did not put my languages on this character.
No, I
That's
do not.
Lovely.
Speak Common, Undercommon, and Elf. I do speak Draconic.
There you go. Dirge would read to herself, or maybe out loud, "Here lie the bones and treasures of Argynvost, the Lord of Argynvostholt, and the founder of the Order of the Silver Dragon." And there seems to be like a little altar, or like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it
Pedestal?
yeah, a pedestal? No, like what you seal. I guess it's just a tomb, right? Or a
Yeah.
tome?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like a big stone kind of sarcophagi.
All right. I haven't read Draconic in quite a while, but definitely looks like the mausoleum of our guy.
And Drager would remove the dragon skull from his head and hold it at his chest with respect, and kind of hold his head down low and whisper under his breath, "What I gotta wonder is if you guys think if I put it on top of that, that'll be enough."
Well, if it's not, I suppose we could open it and then try again.
So Drager would walk over to the sarcophagus and put the dragon skull on top.
When Dragar carefully places the skull, the helmet that he's carried now for a long time, carefully on top of this sarcophagi, the dragon's spirit transforms, emanating from the skull itself. You see a brilliant light that fills the entire room and flashes, and as it kind of glows brighter and brighter, completely blinding you guys, a beam of light erupts and shoots straight up this large pillar. And the light just literally like a kind of like a spaceship beaming something up, only instead going upwards, this pillar of light shoots up into the sky.
Drager would just stare at the pillar of light in awe and amazement.
And you can just feel this light. It brings hope. And
Oh, fuck it. It brings
brings
Drager to his knees.
and it brings you a sense of joy, Dragar. Hope and joy, something that you haven't probably felt in a while, even trying to keep your like wits about you and not be brought down by Barovia. One way or another, it would have gotten under your skin in some way, but for the first time in what seems like a month, you feel hope and
And
you
that-
feel joy.
That's what would draw me to my knees, and I'd look at Dirge, and I would try to pass on the fact that I was feeling so much hope, because that's what she's been trying to bring to Barovia. So I'd look at the Dirge and I'd smile.
Well, it looks like we finally found what we were looking for.
Out of game.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that's all I was gonna say.
All right. Out of game. Anyone who opposes Strahd gains a bonus +1 to their AC and saving throws, as long as they remain in Barovia.
Is it?
So wait, we get +1 to AC and saving throws, or just
Yep, both.
Okay.
As long as you remain
Oh,
in
that's
Barovia.
awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
so we basically have cloak of protection.
Seems pretty nice.
As you step out of the mausoleum, you look up into the sky, and this light literally goes all the way up into the air as far as you can see, and even breaks through the mist that kind of encloses up in top near the atmosphere. And this light, you presume, can be seen from anywhere in the land. And you would get the feeling that just looking at this light, anyone that can see it, finally, in centuries, could perhaps feel a little bit of light, a little bit of hope and joy.
That was freaking worth it.
You look up in a window that's kind of in the tower, and what you see up on like the third story is that familiar man's face that you spoke to. And he kind of has his hand on the window, and he just looks relieved. And as he looks out at you, hand kind of pressed up against this dirty glass, you see his shrunken red eyes kind of turn and fade away from red to a more natural color. and then his body just kind of drifts away in a puff of smoke, and the drapes kind of fall behind as this man disappears.
Drago would look back to the group. The Dragar thinks that maybe the revenants might be gone too. It might finally be safe to try the rest in the mansion.
I have to agree. Is there anything else here? Any belongings or anything important left behind?
Are you asking me, sorry?
I guess everybody plus you. Do we see anything else in this tomb?
In the mausoleum, let me just double check. But negatory.
All right. Well, I think we at least need to rest.
Who wants to sleep in a tomb?
Dragar would suggest going back into the mansion.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. As you head back into the mansion, you head up to the stairs. You see the spectral kind of remains of not only Gypsy fading away, but the knights themselves also now gone. Just like wisps of kind of spectral smoke. They're just ashing away and disappearing and back into the plane where they belong.
Dragar would look to Dirge, Rion, and Gaia and suggest that they try to take up positions in the chapel and try to get some rest. Dragar will head to the front room where they met the demon red dragon, and he will go explain that what we have done, and then he will be back to rest and join them.
I'm going to go upstairs to where we talked to that undead guy and see if his armor is there or if that faded away with him.
So yeah, you go back up into that room, and his chainmail that he was wearing definitely would not be with him in
Okay.
the particular room that you searched.
All right, then I'm going to kind of look around for anything that would be useful to us, like potions. Of course, any items that stand out. I will kind of take a peek into that room that he told us where his evil buddy that's an asshole was, just to see if anything was in there.
Okay.
But then come back down afterwards.
So just into that room then. Gotcha.
Well, that room and the room that we talked to him.
Yeah, and he warned
As well.
Basically, the room where you talked to him. Let me go back up there. As I try to find that room.
Because, of course, we got to give you more work to do.
The room where the Revenant that spoke to you, there is nothing. And in that room, there is... Give a perception.
All right. How about a
Perception.
29 with a crit?
You do see some definite things. Give me
Yeah.
a second here. Actually, this is a good time to take a couple minute break. Sorry, because I have a little bit of bookkeeping to catch up on. So
Okay.
everyone take a quick break, and I'll tell you what you all see.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I have a drink. Damn. Because you all get some stuff for sure, but I need to see exactly what it is.
What do you mean, y'all? I'm the one up there.
Yeah. That's what I
Stuff
meant.
is mine.
That's what I meant. All yours. All right. Got that. Cool. All right, I'm good. Whenever everybody else is, just let me know when everyone's back, and we'll figure it out.
Why can't we be friends? I don't know. Yeah. You pick on me a lot, so that's why we can't be friends.
That's fair. I accept that.
I think that's kind of sad. Like, I only heard 3 or 4 notes of the song that you were humming.
But you nailed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that one.
I don't think that was anything. I was just
Okay.
freestyle humming there, dropping bars off the top of my head.
Oh, I found the sound effect. That's fun.
Found a hoobity what?
I'll link you it. You'll know the sound effect. Took me an unusual long amount of time. Jeez. I posted it in Facebook.
Check that in a second.
You should
Yeah,
do the jukebox and go to the very end, the last tab on it, and type Boom Trap, and then play it.
that sounds like a trap.
Jukebox. What are you talking about, Willis?
The Roll20 jukebox.
Oh, I was like, I totally needed some context.
That's the cannon noise that I do in our game. It's not really a cannon noise. It's just a boom trap, is what it's called.
Instead, I will play you a thing called Terror.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
Me neither, actually. Oh, there it is. I'm filled with terror. It's so ambient.
Pretty sure if you were to type in that last one, like Halloween ambient, something along those lines, you would probably get something, with different kind of sound effects that you can do.
I recently started a home game, and I was going through Spotify for ambient sounds, and I came across this playlist of like 400 songs, and I was all happy about it because it was nice, like ambient, kind of like dark forest, elven encampment, all these things that were perfect for it. And as I went to create a playlist, for some reason instead, it uploaded it to my main songs. So now I have to go and individually delete like over 400 songs from my actual playlist that I listen to in my car, which I'm just too lazy to do lately. So like I'm driving to work today and I'm getting like Dark Forest Thunderstorm has the songs and stuff like that. People probably thought I was a weirdo.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny.
I wish there was a way to like share music through Hangouts or something.
Well,
That'd be sweet.
as I was looking through the jukebox, they actually have songs on there, and I think you can type up a lot of songs.
Yeah.
In the jukebox, you just have to word it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I don't know. I haven't played with anything other than sound effects, so
You can technically do it with YouTube, but that's all going away. I'm pretty sure like Hangouts is going to die relatively soon.
Hey man, I'm back whenever you guys are ready.
Hey, everyone's back. I'm assuming.
Yay.
Let me turn off the creepy noise.
what's my loot?
All right. Hey, Gaia is back. You find sitting in the throne chair with your abnormally disgusting crit of a perception, a kind of remains of some armor. And the armor almost looks like it's platinum in a sense and has these holy symbols etched in it. And probably looks like, even with a bit of dust and whatnot on it, some of the most beautiful armor you've ever laid eyes on. And then behind that is a chest, which I'm presuming that you would check and open. And sitting in that chest is a warhammer. Also equally as beautiful, it has these etchings and kind of diamonds engraved into the handles of it. It looks like something that a holy knight probably would have used. The armor looks like it is probably plate. And then the warhammer looks like it's an absolute pristine shape, even though it does look quite old.
Okay. And the warhammer is a one-handed weapon, or is it two-handed?
It's versatile,
Okay.
I believe.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. A maul is the two-handed
and-
version.
Is that all I see?
You see another platinum holy symbol necklace of the Morning Lord. And that
Okay.
looks like it'd be worth 250 gold. But other than
All right.
that,
I will take that as well. Holy symbol, Holy Lord. And how much money? 250?
250. 250.
All right. 250 platinum, right?
No.
Damn it.
The conversion rate
Can't
just
blame me for
magically goes up for this specific item. It's illegal to trade in gold. It has to be platinum. The same rates.
So you get a whole armful.
Um,
I don't even know if you'd be able to carry all that down in like one handful, but I'm sure through some rigmarole and telling everybody else, you could get it downstairs.
I have a backpack, so I can put shit in the backpack. And I'm pretty sure by now my costumes have been destroyed from multiple uses and being in the cold weather, so they're gone. So
Yeah. I mean, that'd be a pretty
pretty
impressive backpack to get a warhammer and full plate mail
well, I can
and everything else you
carry
have.
the
but
warhammer.
either way, you can get it downstairs. I'm not really that worried about it.
Alrighty. And with that, I will find me a nice cozy corner to go to sleep, depending on who's taking watch first. Like, if I have to take watch first, then of course I won't go to sleep yet.
We're going to talk to the red dragon, and then he has no problem taking first watch.
So yeah, you go to the fire pit, and Dragar, nobody is there. The fire is completely burnt out. As you walk around, and kind of like I imagine Dragar would just like start calling out. Doesn't really seem like anything answers you in this mansion anymore.
Okay, then he would go back to the chapel with his friends.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Fire Demon seems to be gone. Whatever it was, the spirit kind of visions, all that, now that the light has been lit, has vanished from this place. Even that kind of being watched feeling is now gone.
Alrighty, so
Hopefully, if everyone's passing, I know Dirge had something she wanted to say, but if everyone's passing out, then Dragar would take first watch, and hopefully they could try to get arrested.
Yeah, Dirge will wake up for the last watch. Actually, she'll take second watch, and then Gaia can take the last half. Do it that way.
All right, and after probably at least 3 sessions, you guys get your first long rested.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, brutal.
Let's go
And
feel
on
so
top
good
of that-
having functioning magic.
That'll make him happy.
the lovely part about that, as soon as Rion wakes up, he's going to cast Identify twice on the 2 items that he has. So
All
burn
right,
through those spells.
burn. You
Can't
notice
you cast
that?
it as a ritual?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
but I'm
You
glad
don't
you
even need
reminded
those
me
spell
of that.
slots to cast it as a ritual. You just
So after some time, you realize that the Warhammer is a +2 Warhammer.
shit. It's a
This
bad
is
idea.
Pretty old POP. And the plate mail, as reluctantly as I want this to not happen, is also +1.
Okay.
So that's some pretty disgusting AC for whoever gets that.
Well, only 2 of us can even equip it. But yeah,
Yeah. I was going to say, I was hoping it was medium armor that I got, because I can wear medium armor.
Nope, it is definitely
but sadly
plate.
it's plate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Dragar. Dragar, what? Remind me again. What's your weapon?
My weapon is a beautiful warhammer that Dirge gave to me. It's non-magical, but it's a well-polished 2-handed warhammer.
and then kind of struggling. Well, actually, no. Rion would actually have this like under his bedroll, and he would pull out this beautiful warhammer and hand it off to you and say, "Here, this may be a little bit better."
Dragar would hold it in awe, and he would lift it above his head and just kind of hold it in the light. And Dragar says, "This is beautiful, Rian. Thank you. Oh, what does it do?"
It hits things.
It smashes things very well.
No magical
Is what it does.
properties?
And it lets you hit. Hang on, I'm coughing for a second.
I can.
It
test
lets you hit
if
things.
If you want to see how magical it is, I could just hit it really hard and see if it breaks, Dragar.
It will let you hit things a little bit easier and also do a little bit more damage.
Okay, I just didn't hear
As
what
well.
I said on the if it was like a +1 or a +2. So
It's a +2.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Let me see if I can copy paste to this in. No, it didn't work.
Imagine the luck it'll do on Strahd's face.
Dragar says, "Thank you, Rian. Beautiful."
You look so sad.
And what kind of armor is Gaia and Dirge wearing?
Studded leather.
You're wearing studded leather.
She's a druid.
Yep.
So yeah.
She's also a paladin.
Yeah, but she can't use any of her druid powers if she wears metal armor.
Yep.
And Dirge is just wearing that splint mail I jacked from the Amber Temple.
Okay, then I will hand you the plate mail.
Wow, where did you find this? This is beautiful.
You remember that undead guy that Drager was talking to?
Was this one of his little treasures?
Actually, it was in the room across from him.
Oh, the room we didn't want to go into because the guy was going to kill us. Okay.
He would have whooped your ass.
I'm sure we could have figured some way. Well, maybe not. Well, thank you regardless. Was there anything unusual about the armor, like how it looked or anything?
It would look very similar to the Dragon Knight armor that you were fighting against the Revenants, only this is not blackened and corrupted and dirty. It's like in pristine, obviously magical shape. Has beautiful etchings of dragons, and probably somewhere is a symbol of the Morning Lord, because they were all about that life. But other than that, just looks very nice. Made
Hope
of
this
platinum
armor
and
can
whatnot.
make me half as strong as those Dragon Knights. Be pretty easy.
So now you guys are rested. You guys got new gear. What do you want to do?
Stretch, skip, take a small run to be like, oh my goodness, I feel so good. But seriously,
Well, I think we should get ready just for the worst. And Dirge will recast. She'll resummon Gypsy. You'll see the spectral pile of bones on the ground would reassemble itself, and the horse would come back to life. Just in case we need to run out of here.
yes. Run. I like
I know Gaia likes to be a horse.
Yeah, because I thought, well, I guess it's day now, so if
Should we? Yeah,
Just not thinking to the Stani being out front still. It's daytime now, so hopefully less cruelty or whatever it was that they were doing.
All right, so you guys head out the front door. It's another beautiful day in Barovia, as the weather is gloom, the breeze is cold, the ground is wet, and the sky is full of mist and unhappiness. But as you look behind you, you do see that light of the light of Argynvolst, I'm going to call it, still shining proudly, as it seems like this is just a beacon that is not going to be going out anytime soon.
Do we view an army in front of us?
You do not.
Bonus. Drager will look to everybody, and Drager says we should make hurry for Krezik's Abbey. We can get there and give the Abbey dude the seed of life, then we should be good and on our way to Castle Strahd to finish this damn Barovia match.
Guy shakes her head.
You do see, however, where the Vistani were kind of camped. Something stuck into the ground. It looks like a post of wood or something like that.
Like a sign?
You can't really make out what it is. Some kind of wooden... something stuck into the ground.
How far away did you say it was?
So if you're at the front door, quite far away, but basically where the path meets back up at the forest line, so 100 feet away, stuck in the road where the Vistani were watching you guys from a distance, you see something kind of just sitting there.
Then, on guard, I will have my weapon out and approach it. I'm assuming everyone else is outside with me. I see Gaia out here.
Guy's a horse. She's ready to get going.
Yeah, I'd be out there as well.
Yeah, we'd all be outside, I guess. Then.
All right, so
Gather my
as you
tokens.
walk up, Rion, you slowly start to recognize this more and more as you get closer, and you get a sinking feeling in your stomach. As you finally get close enough to actually fully see what it is, you do recognize it quite well as a wooden prosthetic leg. There's an envelope sealed with a dagger kind of stuck into the wooden leg. This letter has a dagger sticking through it.
Okay. Rion's just going to kind of stop, and his shield is going to drop down to the ground, and he takes a few more steps forward, and then his sword is going to fall out from his hands, and then he's going to take a few more steps forward, and he's just going to collapse down to his knees, and he's just staring at this wooden leg.
What does everybody else do?
Drager will come behind Rion, put his hand on his shoulder. Dragar says we will avenge everyone. We must go and see if the Abbey still stands.
What was the? Can you repeat what the prosthetic leg was about?
So prosthetic leg with a dagger stuck into it and a letter with a wax red seal kind of sealing it.
I'm gonna take a look at the letter.
All right, you do recognize the symbol as you spent some time here now as kind of the symbol of Ravenloft. This raven basically in front of a castle. It's what he stamps all the coinage with, and you now know it spending some time here as Strahd's kind of signature thing. You peel open the letter, and it reads that the wedding day is upon us. All are welcome to join who have invitations. It is going to be a great ceremony of love as Tatiana and Strahd von Zorovich profess their undying and boundless love for each other. It would say, as you're kind of scanning through it, that waiting for you guys to come out of this mansion, that we happen to bump into a familiar face, and just so that you guys know that she's in complete and safe hands, we left this here for you. And then it would say that I look forward to seeing you all soon and celebrating this ceremony of love. And then it would be signed by Strahd von Zorovich.
Drager would look back to Dirge and kind of do some facial movements to remind Dirge that Rion's sister had a wooden leg, and they need to probably move quickly so that they can get to the Abbey, get this done, and then move on to the wedding.
Yeah. Luckily, she kind of smiles and jabs Gaia. Luckily, we do have 2 horses.
All
I
right.
think we can get there pretty quick.
So this guy transform into a horse?
Yep.
Yes.
The day is kind of at least bright, and for what it's worth, it is a rather kind of nice day. One of the nicer days you have seen in this. The mist is still about you, but as the sun or as the daylight kind of reaches its peak, even shrouded by the mist, it does kind of have like a warmth to it. Whether it's the beacon behind you or just happens to be a fluke nice day, you don't really know. But you have this sense of dread nonetheless. I'm sure Rion probably isn't feeling too great about it, but you guys ride, I'm assuming, to the Abbot then?
Yeah. Try to go there as fast as we can.
All right, making all of the haste that you can, you approach Krezix, and luckily it still stands. You're greeted by the townspeople, by Dimitri. He says that whatever curse the witches, the hags, put on us, it seems to have been lifted by whatever you guys did. They thank you again, and then would probably, just skipping the formalities, would say that you're welcome here at any time, and the city is in your favor. As you guys descend back up to the Markovia, St. Markovia's Abbey, the abbot is already basically waiting there, and he's basically outside in the kind of courtyard, as if he knew you guys were coming.
The first thing Rion's going to do is first turn over the bat chick that we've completely forgot that we still had.
Yeah.
And then he's going to walk up to the abbot and grab him by the shirt and kind of lift him up, or at least attempt to lift him up. Rion's not the strongest. And he says, he's going to say, "What happened to my sister?" And he's just like looking him in the eyes, and you can almost see like a tear about to run down his face.
Absolutely. So yeah, as you try to like grab him, he is pretty dang unmovable. I mean, if you really want to try to get aggressive with him, you can do a strength check, but you just sense power from this guy.
It's more of a gesture. Like, he's just angry. He's not actually trying to lift him.
Yeah.
He's just doing it like.
And the abbot isn't
he's
like
pissed off.
The abbot isn't like showing any kind of frames of like aggression towards you. He would tell you just kind of quite blankly that she was looking at her cards, her Taraka cards, and she said that she sensed you were in danger. She's seen a great demon. She said a dragon. And then she's seen you running for your life, chased by creatures into a mansion. I told her that the mansion was probably Argon Volstholt, where the Order of the Silver Dragon once ruled over and watched over this land. She told me that she had to go and make sure that you were okay. I warned her that it was probably not the best of ideas and that you should wait. But she was having none of that, and she left. She left to find you. And then seeing that you're clearly like pissed off and like a tear streaking from your eyes, he would say, and put his hand on your shoulder, kind of like in comfort. I'm sorry. I guess I can assume that she didn't make it. Maybe she'll be all right, though.
I know he would, take the prosthetic leg, and I kind of imagine that it's like sticking out of his backpack at this point, and you could just see like the foot, and maybe he takes a glance at it and sees that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Exactly, and he just says that like Esmeralda, she is a very capable young woman, very strong. If anybody could hold their own, it's her.
I think that knowing Strahd, he probably is trying to keep her as a prisoner or captive to use against us. Don't let him. Come on, it's a million messages here. Don't let him manipulate you. You just have to continue with the plan to defeat him.
And then the abbot's kind of like looking, and just, so you guys will be heading to fight Strahd. Your friend is not necessarily wrong. If he does have her, he will look to use every angle he can get. If Strahd has your sister, Jan, he will use her against you, and you against her. What's everybody else doing as this exchange is going on? Dragar has temporarily dropped the call.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a lot of people we have to rescue from Strahd. I don't want to be that person, but I mean, she's one of many people that we need to rescue from him now.
Well, the only way we can do that is if we go and take care of him. We have this whole world to save from Strahd rain. By the way, and she can't remember who had, was it Dragar? I guess it was Dragar who had the seed last, or Dirge, or
I think he threw it to you, honestly.
okay.
I'll just say that he did.
Well, she's going to reach into her little handy dandy pouch and pull out the seed, and she will pass it off to the Abbins, like if he were able to get the seed.
He looks very happy by this, and he just says something along the lines of, "Pelor, bless you, Gaia, you and all your friends."
Big proud smile, just like, yeah.
And then he says something along the lines of, "I guess I owe my end of the favor." And then he would look to you to hold out the symbol of Ravenkind.
She will take it. I don't know, it's like, does she, I guess, is there any, was he able to unlock it, or?
He would look to you as you're holding it, kind of examining it. It doesn't really look any different. And he would say that restoring it to its power, it's something that I can do. But nonetheless, Gaia, this item, it does not suit you. It is not who you are. And as he says that, the storm kind of seems to be crackling above you. And he says, I don't think that even having this item restored to its original potential is what a champion of Pelor like yourself needs. I think we need to fine tweak it. I think we need to make it more, and then he just kind of looks like he doesn't really understand how to say this, more Gaia.
Like, I think, like, in her head, it's like, yeah, and I goodness, trying to think how would she word it, like her thoughts, just like, perhaps it's, can we alter it? Can it be?
As you're kind of like stumbling and not really understanding what to say, he walks up to you and says, are you faithful to Pelor?
Of course. There's no doubt where my allegiance, where my faith belongs.
I've seen Strahd tempt you in your kind of past. I've seen him try to take you to the dark side, and even in the darkest moments, you still shone brightly, always believing and always serving Pelor.
Okay.
How about you take one more trial, prove yourself, and maybe the gifts will be bestowed upon you, that of more of which you seek, instead of this item that you just found. Make it your item.
Right. Yes.
And then he says, do you trust me?
I can show you the way. Yes.
He holds out his arms, and now as he does so, it starts to rain a bit more, and you see another crackle of lightning and thunder. He holds out his arms as if to, like, not necessarily embrace you, but for you to grab his forearms.
So, take hold.
You start to levitate with him, and the storm starts to worsen. And he says that this trial, it could kill you. He's going to be very blunt about it. You're basically giving your soul.
Many things have tried to kill me, and I still live. Paylor will not let me fall.
I believe in you, Gaia. You can do it.
So yeah, the storm starts to brew, and you see Gaia. Everyone sees Gaia start to float up into like this lightning storm that has now kind of been suddenly almost appearing out of nowhere. He tells you to pull out he puts the amulet around your neck, and at this point you see him kind of do a blessing of Paylor, and you feel the levitation give to yourself, and he tells you to hold it. And as you hold it out in front of you, he says, hold it higher, and basically like put you up in the sky. And if you're going to do so, he asks you to like literally hold the amulet out to the sky, out to the lightning storm, out to this raging, powerful raw energy of lightning. And what does Gaia do?
She embraces it. She's, I suppose, looking on just kind of this focus, trying to embrace the storm, because one, like with the storm just kind of going around her, it's just invigorating for her, even though like for most, like you'd think they'd be kind of getting really apprehensive or nervous and just kind of like we're gonna die, but for her, like, this is very invigorating and such. And so she's just kind of waiting for like and if anything, I can see like her own magic starting to leak out of her, I guess, in a way where it's like she can't help but just use that call lightning, because she wants to commune with the storm. She wants to be part of it and like also bring it within her own control.
Absolutely. And I kind of see like one of those like electric balls. I almost picture those glass domes with like electricity that kind of spark out when you touch it. And as the storm's like arching above you, you start to see these little bolts of lightning start to arc around Gaia. And the fact that you're not afraid or anything. And welcome back, Dan. In case you're wondering what you missed, Gaia is now floating above you guys in the sky, several, almost like 100 feet in the air as a lightning storm has raged on. And she is holding her symbol of Ravenkind up into this lightning storm, as the abbot has asked her to take on a trial of Paylor and prove her undominable will. And he looks to you one last time and says, Gaia, are you sure that you take this trial? Even a sliver of doubt,
Nope.
and you might die.
Like that little ditty that I typed in, that's kind of what's going through her head at the moment. And
All
so
right.
she's just like, bring it, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And honestly, out of game, this eventually might kill you. I don't really know, but I don't think it will.
It's okay. Like this, oh goodness, this is awesome. If she dies, oh well, she dies. It'll be sad.
I think it'll be good though.
But no, this.
As you hold it proudly, Gaia, her belief in Paylor, whether it be the lightning or whether it be the light, she doesn't care. She believes nonetheless. And as she holds this, a massive arc of lightning streaks down and hits the symbol, and you guys just see her completely erupt in electric energy. It almost looks like equivalent to the beam of light that just kind of shone out of the Argon Ghost. Yeah, or even that. It just completely engulfs the sky and turns the sky completely white. Everyone looking would be completely blinded.
Blinded for
not able to see anything. Gaia, I'm going to roll the damage now that you take. The trial.
Is she standing right next to Dirge?
Oh, fuck no.
Oh, man.
Ooh, she lives! But man, is she feeling crispy.
Is she still even conscious?
Yes, she's conscious.
Beautiful.
She has 5 health points left.
All right. The lightning disappears. Gaia still stands there completely charred. I imagine what armor that she has is like even a little bit tattered. Her hair completely frizzled. As you look, the symbol of Ravenkind has actually been like almost looks like it's been split down the middle, but instead it's this arc of lightning that has been ripped across it, and it almost looks like it's been welded in. The crystal completely shattered, but now you see this beam of welded metal go completely across the symbol now. You hold it in your hands, and it's still glowing with like an ember redness to it.
Okay.
As you do kind of take on the fact that you survived, though, you realize that you felt more energy, more power, more close to Palor than you've ever have in your life. You just seem to be exhuming. And as you kind of float down, your eyes would even be glowing with this electric kind of energy.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
almost taken on the aura of lightning itself. The item that you once had, instead of giving you the abilities that it had, are going to change. Your lightning attacks now ignore any lightning resistance.
Yes.
From this point on, you are now immune to lightning damage.
Ooh. Heck yes. Hang on. So.
I also have it written out. I can update it to you in a second. I'll give you actually what it does.
Alright.
Your hold Strahd, as for flavor, still will work, but instead of just magically kind of holding him there, lightning will arc from you, and basically like a kind of almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Shackles and chains of lightning will imbue from you and hold him in place. So it'll still basically work the same, just flavored differently. And the last and probably coolest thing, which we'll discuss later, will be an ability, instead of Unturned Dead, will be called Palor's Judgment. And I think you'll like what that does. But I'll send you all that out of game, and we'll worry
Let's
about
drop
that later.
the make it rain lightning. I'm guessing.
And you kind of float back down, and the abbot, I imagine you're probably a little exhausted. He embraces you and says that he knew that you would pass the trial.
So, as she's definitely gonna say is hearing his voice, that like kind of realizing like ground's under her feet again, and head kind of lolling back as she finally like breaks eye contact with the amulet and just like, oh yes, what's burning? Just what's burning?
Guy, let me put that out, and Dirge would kind of walk up and try to pat out the sizzles on your body. All of them.
Dragar's in just pure amazement.
Wood.
And then I'm going to just whisper, I guess. And then I can also send it to you in the chat, in the Facebook chat later. But that is basically what everything will do. That's a wall of text. I'll make that better. By oh yeah, I didn't even send it off. Never mind. Just ignore that. I guess there's a text limit of things I can send.
There's more stuff. I'm not even sure. I don't think there is a text limit, to be honest, because I've sent a lot of crap. I think there's a copy and paste limit that you can do, but there's still like a massive wall of text that you can send on Facebook.
Yeah. Actually, no, copy and paste it at all. It's just not formatted. But yeah, after that, so he just kind of holds you there, and he would actually hold his hand over you and cure wounds the crap out of you back to full health, as he is a holy angel and has pretty crazy healing abilities.
Thank you. She's just, I feel so proud of myself. Ta-da! This who's ready to get started?
And then he looks to you, and as you're kind of like walking away, already like ready to go, he'd grab your arm one more time, and then he would just look to you dead in the eyes and say, Gaia, please finish what I couldn't. Succeed where I have failed. Be the light that I couldn't have been, and redeem the corruption that I fell under, the disservice I did to Palor. Please finish this.
Of course, Yes, I will do. For it is what I've been called to do.
And then with that, he'll turn and you'll pull out his seed of life. And he says, you'll hear him as he walks away, and he says, "I know you will." And then he walks back into his home to turn Basilica into a real girl, and y'all don't want to know what happens after that point. Just kidding.
Creepy.
So yeah, now what do you wish to do?
Well, everybody, I think we have a wedding to attend. Who's ready? to
Perhaps,
party?
perhaps before we go back, maybe we can barter, maybe get something from these townfolk.
Well,
Maybe some supplies.
that wouldn't be a bad idea.
When we have
Barracks
all this-
doesn't move since this guy started to float. His eyes are just huge and his jaw's hanging. He's just like, wow. Doesn't move.
Yeah, you just watch Gaia literally get struck plain by a bolt of raw lightning
And live to tell the tale.
and live.
Wow.
I mean, I always imagined she would probably live. Probably. Good on you, Gaia. I knew you could do it. Probably.
I told you, they listen to me. They're in a very poor position.
It's a very unusual way to show affection to your follower, but I'm not gonna judge.
To each his own. Like that saying, the trial of fire. Yes? I had trial of lightning. And so.
Wow.
So yeah, what's your guys' plan? If you're looking for something as per wares, I don't really know what exactly you're looking for.
Do they have any healing potions at all in this town?
Oh heck no.
I'm pretty sure they would have used them up anyways to try to
This is-
cure their sickness.
This
if
is
they
like
had
a
before.
small little farm town, basically. It is
Yeah.
smaller than Vallaki even was.
Are there any towns on the way? Vaguely on the way.
Well, you know that Vallaki's on the way, but I'm pretty sure Dragar told you that it's in less than fortunate shape. And when you guys got close to Vallaki, you came upon the Vistani, who you also know did not get along with Vallaki. And the Vistani seem to have quite a bit of forces. So,
Well, I guess we can go. We can go back to Strahd, I guess.
Dragar would look to the group. Dragar says, windmill or Strahd?
you would sense the kind of culminating of all these events now. Maybe just feeling it in the air that it's kind of boiled down to this moment, and that Strahd is ramping up for something.
Dragar says, we must make this wedding. Irina still has a chance to be saved.
Yeah, I think Chester would not approve. I'm sorry, Chester. Rihanna would not approve of us going off on little side quests while his sister is in need of rescue.
Yeah, you guys are fully loaded now. You've basically completed the process. Sorry to cut you off, Chester, but basically completed the prophecy of Madame Eva. You've collected all the artifacts. You've visited the towns. You've destroyed the horrors that or most of the horrors that lay in Barovia. You sense that if there's ever going to be a moment to finish this once and for all, that this might be that moment. And go ahead, Chester. I promise I won't cut you off this time.
I doubt that. But anyways, this whole time Rion has been actually very quiet, almost like staring off into his own, and he's looking a little bit worse now than what he did before when he was dead and then a ghost and then kind of possessed like Dragar. He still kind of is. I just got tired of actually doing that, but when you guys mention going after Strahd, he seems like there's a fire in his eyes, and he turns to the group and says, "Yes, we must go and rescue my sister." How do we want to go about that? Because when we get close to Vallaki, they will try to kill us. Do we want to
And
try
I'm-
to avoid that town altogether?
I'm going to assume that you guys are doing this as you're walking back down to the town.
Mhm.
And as you do, Dimitri is standing there waiting for you, and he kind of like has like a look like he wants to say something to you, and a lump in his throat. But go ahead and reply, and how you guys want to go about it.
And Drago would look to Rion, and Drago says we're invited to the wedding. I say we knock down the front door and go. As
But
for Vallaki, I'm not sure if we have to go there or not.
we may have invitations to get into the door, but will those invitations cover us to get to that door? I don't think Strahd's minions will take too kindly of us just walking up to his front door.
Dragar says I still have one friend in the castle.
Okay. At this point, I think we would be there next to that guy, and I would kind of stop talking to Dragar for a second and look to him like, what do you want? We have important business. Get out of our way, or,
You'd say that I think there's something outside the castle walls waiting for use.
Dragar say what?
Yeah, can you be a little bit more specific?
He would say, come see, and he'd show you along. And as he shows you to the kind of what walks you up the tower is that watch over the cities, basically where the guards look out to sea. You see sitting outside the town walls on the main road, 2 black horses mounted to a pitch black carriage. It seems that not only does Strahd still know exactly where you are, but he's been kind enough to leave you transportation to his castle.
How thoughtful.
As you clearly recognize this, or did you come across it? I can't remember. I believe you guys came across him in his carriage before.
Dragar would get the chills. Expecting Alton to pop out almost.
Yeah, that's right. Dragar rolled. It's the same carriage that carried Dragar to the castle the first time.
Dragar says, for all I know, it's perfectly safe. It's just a carriage that will get us to the castle.
Dimitri just kind of stands there and looks at you guys.
And Dragar would turn to the group. Dragar says it's a definite sign we're invited to wedding. What you say? And he would polish his hammer a little bit.
Did you say 2 horses or a carriage?
Carriage with 2 black horses driving it.
Okay.
There
That's what I thought you
doesn't
said.
seem to be any driver. Just these horses.
Vrion's just going to walk up and open the doors and get in.
And it is your stereotypical vampire, bright red cushion, completely blacked out windows. But you hop in, you look as your 3 comrades kind of stand there. Dimitri's just like in that gasp, like, "What? You guys are? You're gonna fight Strahd? You're out of your mind."
No.
Most likely, yes.
What does everybody else do as
Go
Rion hops in with no
Thought
regards?
is after. How kind of him to let us rest. Have a nice relaxing ride. And then we be all rested and able to think about easy.
What does Dirge do? She's on mute. Or AFK.
No, not AFK. Would my divine sense detect any unholy magic on these creatures?
Yeah, the horses would probably be fiend, but they don't seem hostile in any way.
Okay. Dirge would hop in.
Dragar, I'm assuming he's probably just like,
Dragar would he's chilling, but he'd look to Dimitri and he'd say, Dragar says this is the beginning of a new day for you in this world. Dragar says we will risk everything to destroy Strahd. Check you later. And he would hop into the carriage.
And as you guys hop in the carriage, you see the townsfolk all kind of like piling out of the wall to like watch this go down. And the, I guess, 30 odd townsfolk, all dressed in their kind of fur coats and whatnot, all just seem to stare at you in disbelief. And the horses start to drive away. As you look back, they all just kind of stand there. And they all like hold their.
Totally lean out the window waving.
Yeah.
Like it's a parade. Like, boy, be free from Strahd.
And Dragar would yell out too. He'd be like, Dragar says if you want, you can always help. Good way to free yourselves.
They do not do that, but nonetheless, they watch you in admiration as you guys ride down the old Salavik road. We're going to end soon, but before, let's cliffhanger you a little bit. And while you guys are riding in the horse, you get attacked by a terrible creature and all die.
Another rock.
You know, nothing new. Give me a second here. Where's the thing that I want? Is this it? Maybe that's it. I feel like that's not it though. God dang it. That awkward moment when you can't find the page.
That's always lovely.
The most annoying part is when once I don't find it, once I just accept that I'm not going to find it, I'll find it immediately after. But anyways, we're just going to freestyle it then. You ride up the mountain of Mount Baratok. You kind of, actually, first you kind of ride down the road and you go through Vallaki, and you all get the same entire view that Dragar did. The town completely in shambles. As you ride past the Vistani camp, you see that all the tents are now emptied. Moved along. Whatever force was gathering there is now gone. As you ride through Vallaki, you remember this once completely fortified city. It wasn't anything amazing in the forms of like a city of Waterdeep or anything, but it was well enough along. But now it almost stands in complete rubble. And you remember the first time entering Barovia, coming into the village of Barovia, this disheveled, empty ghost town, buildings boarded up, burnt down, ruins. The once greatest city of Barovia, which isn't saying a lot, Vallaki, now looks equally the same as the village of Barovia, if not worse. There's visions, there's flayed men, there's tortured dead bodies, people crying. The city lay in complete waste as you ride on through and up into the mountains of Baratok. You kind of whip past the old windmill and you drive up past the great gates. And as you come into the highest point of the mountain, Dragar gets a familiar sight, but for the first time, you guys behold that which is the edifice that is Ravenloft. This massive castle that seems to sit on a peak in the mountain. A great drawbridge kind of unfolds, beckoning to you guys to come in. The castle is completely walled with these battlements and parapets on all four sides. The gulch that surrounds it, as Dan drops again, seems to drop down the mountain thousands of feet down. Just one wrong move on this drawbridge and certain death would befall anybody. You look up into the sky and there's another raging thunderstorm. This one equally as bad as any you've ever seen. Bolts of lightning streak across, clouds as black as the night. You look at the castle of Ravenloft as you enter the courtyard. Thick kind of cold fog swirls in. The sporadic flashes of lightning lance across these weeping clouds overhead as the carriage is soaked in rain. You see torches, flames kind of fluttering on each side of the keeps, the main doors. Seems like a warm light, almost inviting, spills from these massive main doors, these 20-foot tall iron doors of Castle Ravenloft, and they slowly slide open as the carriage stops and the door opens. And I think that's what we'll end it for tonight. We're at 1 o'clock. We're at the 1 o'clock, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Draga, do you think, and Dirge, do you think either of you would be able to, like, you know, make big hole in the roof of whatever room we are in, so that way the storm outside can be utilized?
Yeah, I don't
You
know
can
if
just
I'm
do
that
it.
strong.
You could just call lightning bolt on top of the roof and break a hole, and then voila.
Anyways, though, obviously, next session, guys, we are finally going to go for the last kind of haul of this adventure. I don't think you'll do it in one session, although obviously you guys could outwit me probably and maybe get it done. But nonetheless, we probably are less than 3 sessions away from being done this campaign. So shit has officially gotten as real as shit is going to get at this point. I'm going to end the broadcast and I'll chat with you guys. But again, thanks for playing. Thanks for anyone who ends up checking this out. And next week, we will finally have the final showdown between Strahd and the group. So peace out, guys.